how to de-stress when manifesting, especially you who have been manifesting your desires for a long time and nothing is happening. Many factors can be stressful when you are consciously manifesting your desires. For the sake of this video, I am going to categorize them in two groups. One of which is resistance that keeps staying there. So the negative story that keeps coming up, anxiety that keeps coming up, and nothing happens. The other is when you have no negative emotions, but you are also not feeling the end goal. So you are not aligned, so to speak. You don't have emotional reactions, any negative things coming up, and still nothing is happening. And of course, that is uncomfortable. We are going to talk about why this happens and what to do about it. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can of course book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I will be happy to help you anything you are manifesting. You can also join one of my Master Manifestor Mastermind groups. In that case, please send me an email from my booking page so that we can find a group that is comfortable for your time zone. So let's talk about why this happens, that resistance keeps staying there, or you keep affirming and the feeling of the wish fulfilled never really comes up. Never, because I keep saying you can manifest, and this is still valid. You can manifest your desires even when you don't believe, even when you don't feel anything. And what that means is that you can do the work. And by doing the work, by focusing your mind on your desired end goal, what your mind does is that it starts calibrating mind and body. Your body starts feeling like your new story. So it automatically, doing the work literally just brings you to the end. What if it doesn't though? Negative story comes up, keeps coming up, or you didn't feel anything at first and you keep not feeling anything. Both of these things, even though they seem complete opposites in feeling wise, they are, but they are both a type of resistance to your end goal. The reason this happens is when your desire seems, or you perceive your desire to be far-fetched, too far out there, too in the future, maybe one day, maybe. And so when this is the case, again, your mind either drives you crazy with the story that no, you can't have it, you've never had it, you remember that time that this thing happened, etc. This is not realistic, whatever your mind brings up. The other side of resisting the story is completely dismissing it as fantasy. So no emotional reaction. I'm not even going to react to this because what do you mean? What do you mean you're rich? No, you're not. Let's get back to reality, right? When this happens to you, the first thing I want you to do is, because I have been through these things with different manifestations, and I have to say this is not a rule. This doesn't happen to everyone, and this doesn't happen for every manifestation. Sometimes it may. And more people go through this than we talk about, actually. So what you need to do first is to persist. I know, stay with me. You've heard this. I'm going to explain it. When resistance comes up and you persist, and I mean to give it a few days, literally. I don't mean to persist for a couple of months or a year to see if it works. No. We're talking about a few days. But you have to do the work. This is a must. In all scenarios, you have to do the work. When resistance comes up, you do the work. Let's say you're affirming. You may be doing imaginal acts, but let's take affirmations just as an example. When you're affirming, your mind starts to get used to this new story. and resistance fades. So your mind gets used to your new affirmations and it just starts accepting it as first as a possibility, then as truth. Okay? All good if this happens. When you are in complete numb state, apathy, kind of, I don't feel anything, no negative things, no positive things, no feeling at all, still persist, still for a few days. Usually what happens with this is that then resistance comes up. When you go from numbness to resistance, this means that your affirmations are starting to work in your subconscious. Your subconscious is starting to react to it. Even though resistance is perceived as a bad thing, in this case, it means it's working. Keep going, because then from there, it's going to transform into closer and closer to your end state. In case this isn't happening, so again, in those cases where you've been doing it for a long time, we're talking weeks, months, maybe years in some cases, continuing to do the same thing is not going to help. So whatever doesn't work, just doesn't work for you in this case. If something doesn't work, there's always something else that will work. What I suggest you do in this case is back up for a little bit, and instead of affirming your desired outcome as done, because that is what creates a feeling of it's too much. No, it's not done. It's still not here. It's obviously not here at all, and it creates this gap that is too big. We want to close the gap a little bit between where we are and what we are affirming. So what I want you to do is to start affirming in future tense, which is not something I recommend usually. I have a video where I go much more in detail about both the future tense and past tense, present tense, etc. I'm going to link it somewhere. I think it's here. I don't remember. You can check that out if this interests you. But when you start affirming in future tense, let's say you're manifesting money. Instead of affirming, I'm a millionaire, or I'm wealthy, or I am whatever you're affirming, you go back and you start affirming, I will manifest my money. I will figure out how to manifest money. I will figure this out. I will have my money. I will have my wealth. This will happen to me. My money will start coming to me. It will happen. I will figure it out. Same with SP. I will manifest my SP. We will be together. She will fall in love with me. I will figure this out. What this does is that it creates some sort of a possibility that your mind can't really resist, at least that strongly, because if you are perceiving your end goal to be too far-fetched and you are alone, you feel alone, you hate your situation, and you start affirming, SP and I are married and we live in this house together and we have children and whatnot, your mind might either completely dismiss it or create this anxiety that you may be feeling. When you say, I will figure out how to manifest it, now that's a real possibility, right? You may feel a little bit of resistance, but it's going to be far less if you do. Otherwise, it's possible, it's believable. Not that it has to be believable, but in this particular case where just nothing is happening, nothing is changing in your mind, making it a little bit believable helps. You will start affirming in future tense until that becomes normal, because at some point you will start believing that, you will figure it out. You will manifest money. You can even affirm if these other people, if you know some specific people who have manifested their SP or money or whatever you are manifesting, you can say, if they figured it out, I will figure it out too. If they manifested it, I will manifest it too. This simply reduces resistance. And I don't mean this to be something that you do forever. I'm not telling you to keep your manifestation in the future, because future tense is in the future. But at some point you are going to relax about it. And you are going to start feeling things. You are going to, if it's resistance, it's going to calm down. If it's apathy and numbness, it's going to start feeling a little bit exciting, because yeah, you will figure out how to become wealthy. You will figure out how to be with your SP or manifest health or whatever you are manifesting. And then from there, your end goal is closer. Because even though it feels like taking a step back to affirm in future tense, can be scary, especially when you have become used to affirming present tense. But yet again, present tense, if nothing is happening, if you are still where you were months ago, start affirming future tense. It feels like going a step backwards, but it is actually a step forward, bringing you closer, getting your mind used to the idea of having it, even if it's one day, having it one day in the future. From there, going to present tense, factual statements, I am, I have, etc., is going to feel less resistant. So try this out and let me know in the comments if there are other methods that you use to reduce anxiety, to sort of remove the stress and deal with it and actually go to your end goal. It will also help other people who are reading it. I have to mention, I actually don't remember if I mentioned it in the beginning of the video. If you are dealing with constant negative emotions and you want to work with them without having to work with your mind, thoughts or imagination, I highly recommend checking out my course, Release Negative Emotions. That course is only working with emotions. It's literally releasing negative emotions without affirming or imagining. We're only working with emotions. So check that out if you want to. That is one way of going about it. Another way is what I shared in this video. I hope this was helpful. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, of course, you can book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below, or join my group coaching, which is also coaching, more consistent one. In that case, please send me an email from my booking page. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.